It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the big diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Chicago Bulls. Chicago is one of the teams right now playing very consistent. Coming into tonight, a couple of goals they have. Stay aggressive on both ends, but also play with efficiency. It's a delicate balance, but they know it's the key to playing their best ball. So we're right around halfway through the season. Jack, a lot of trade discussions happening. What are your keys to making a great deal?
Well, it depends on your goal. You want to win now? You want to win later? A combination of both? Does your analysis ever make changes out of emotion?
Well, acquiring players that fit your system. You have to have a system first. That's the key. And if your trade looks too good to be true, it probably is.
I meant to say, do your analysis, never make changes out of emotion.
Okay.
See, I was emotional when I was talking about it.
Well, I heard you. I understood it. I understood
All right.
it.
You did?
Not really, but.
Me either. And now with the tip-off, coming up shortly, it's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the calls.
Bulls play before the hometown crowd, and we've got it live for you right here from Chicago. Kevin Harlan here along with analysts Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, and we'll be hearing from DA along the sideline all game long. The Detroit Pistons come into this one after the win against the Charlotte Hornets. And I don't think I was the only one surprised, not just by their win, but guys, by what an emphatic win it was.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role. And that night, it was about scoring.
Especially on the road, you're hoping for any extra contributions. But for a couple of stretches, there, the backups control the game.
So Detroit will get the first possession. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the floor for Detroit, we've got Davis. Rogers is out there with Mr. Incredible. Then there's the captain, and it's Stewart in at center. Just 5 to shoot. Aldemir, no good. For Chicago, they won their last contest, that game against Brooklyn. Grady, guarded by Rogers. Outside, Pierce. High post shot. That one, no good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Their last encounter was in Detroit.
Yeah, they dropped the last game of this matchup. Their bench wasn't able to keep up with the opposing reserves offensively.
We're about 1 minute into the first. Steve, compared to when you played, talk about elements of the game that are now easier for the players than, like I said, when you played.
I think you start on the floor, the game is less physical. There's no more handshaking. There's no more chucking. There's no more hard fouls when they're throwing you up against the stanchion. And then I think off the court,
The travel. I started when we flew commercial, Kevin. Now every team is flying private. I think the travel is definitely easier for players.
Not only flew commercial, Smitty, but we used to fly in the first flight out every morning, like 6 a.m.
Yes.
flights after a game, after a night game.
I remember those days. The positive was you didn't practice a lot when you got to those cities.
Here's Grady. Here's Oden. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And finally, somebody knocks down a shot. This has not been pretty thus far.
Here's Rogers, and he jams it with authority.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Let's send it over to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Kenny Atkinson. DA.
Well, Kevin, he didn't outright say he was satisfied with his defense, but he did say that offense was important tonight. He told me numbers 1, 2, and 3 on our list are getting good movement, good looks, and making some shots. That's our focus. We'll see if they can make that happen tonight. Kevin, back to you.
Great, thank you, David. Their approach is going to center around their offense. What do you think, guys? Is that the way to go?
Sure. I mean, that's the way this team is built. When you've got the weapons they do, you've got to use them.
But they can't play too one-dimensional, Greg. They've got to match their intensity on offense with the same kind of effort at the other end.
And Detroit has possession after the Bulls pick up 2. And it's Davis missing. The Bulls leading by 4. To the middle. Samardziski, who's guarded by Davis. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation.
Now let's take a quick look at the numbers for Pierce. Averaging 17 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. And he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Well, and we've seen defenses try to adjust, but he has the intelligence along with the talent, just finds new ways to beat them.
Here's Rogers, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Dishes it to Pierce. From deep. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 or 3 so far.
Heating up early on. This is exactly how he wanted to start the night.
Well, he has the ability to get you off on the right foot. Now it's just about sustaining it.
Here's Davis. The pass to Stewart. And stolen by Oden. Rebound, Detroit.
You know what? He tried to lay it in at the point of attack. Just too much defensive pressure on that play.
Passes it to the captain. Nice ball movement by Detroit. To the wing on the left. Pass to Davis. Takes the 3. Out of hand on it. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Samardziski. He's guarded by Davis. That's tipped. Here's the captain against Charlotte. He was really on his game. Aldemir, the pass to Rogers. Rogers. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. The Bulls leading by 5. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Davis. That's his first foul. Outside, Pierce. Shoots. The Bulls keep it alive. Here's Summerziski. Misses the 3.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Aldemir, he drains the quick shot.
Well, not the best look they can get, but at the end of the day, it's all about shot making.
Outside, Pierce. Jeremic off the left rim and out. Pistons trail by 3. Here's Aldemir, who provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. And it's Davis missing.
You know, a little off his game this quarter. Still trying to find a rhythm, though.
Pass to Oden. Here's Summerziski. And the Bulls with another miss.
I'll tell you what, despite the miss, he's going to be looking for that same shot again.
Kept alive. Here's Stewart. No good with the layup.
You can't ask for a higher percentage look than the one that he got. I think he lost his concentration.
The shot by Pierce will not go.
And this is one of those times where the coach has got to preach, be unselfish.
And we don't know that he hasn't. Maybe it's been falling on deaf ears. Guys taking ill-advised jump shots.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Here's the captain. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Davis surveying the floor. He can't get that one to fall. So the Bulls will take it the other way.
And if you're looking for the main reason that they're trailing in this game, well, look no further than his shooting. I mean, he has hit exactly 0% of his shots.
Here's Oden. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor. Pistons trail by 5. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Well, Steve, when it comes down to how this country is developing young players at the amateur level, do you feel winning is overemphasized in relation to individual skill development?
Yeah, I mean, great question, Kevin. I think in youth basketball right now, youth sports, I think so much now is individually rating individual players that are playing a team sports. I want to see more of rating the teams. And I think also guys getting a chance to understand winning is important. A lot of these tournaments, you play 3 or 4 games a day, and it's not so much about winning. I think it has to come down to win or go home. I love that for youth basketball, and then I also love that it's just getting better. And I would love for some of these youth coaches to move these players around. There's a player right now that might be playing the center spot, but let him try to play the guard spot. I think you've got to find a way to do that and talk about winning as a team versus individuals.
Smart stuff.
Eyes on money, but I'm focused on you. Body full of tattoos, I make her kiss the ink. No poker knows if my stink. Had a staring contest with the devil blink.
And a moment here to see the standings for the Eastern Conference. And you know, guys, some interesting stories have unfolded here as we move through the middle of the season. Taking a look at Chicago. They're 4th in the conference and looking to make a move the latter part of the season. And checking out Detroit, 2.5 games back.
Yeah, but checking out Chicago, most of the preseason predictions were right on the money when it came to them. I mean, a playoff contender, but not necessarily championship caliber.
I agree. As good as they've been, they do seem like they're missing that true killer instinct that sets the great teams apart from the good ones.
Pistons trail by 5. Here's Primetime. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
And also 3 steals, so he showed some grit and determination on the defensive side.
Moon passes to Ryan. Poked away. And now the Pistons, fast break. Here's Justice. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. This break gives us the chance to see which teams have been the most successful in the transition game this month. The Bulls in second.
I mean, it's about the pace they played with here offensively. They don't look like they're showing any signs of slowing down.
The Pistons shooting their first free throws here tonight.
Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. He hits both from the stripe. Now Moon. There's the pass to Ryan. And here's Banks. Knocks it loose. Shot clock at 5. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. And again, no good by Chicago.
If you're trying to keep the defense honest, that's the one you really have to make.
Here's Justice. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Primetime's got 6. And Chicago has possession. They trail by 1. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And I felt like they came out of that with a terrific game plan, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, they had great play calling, and then the execution was on point. Outstanding effort all the way around.
And the Pistons with possession. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
And at 78%, he's been a consistent shooter at the line for them all season long.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. Smitty, with all the different arenas you've played in and all the cities you've traveled to as a player, which city do you think, looking back, was the hardest to play in for whatever reason?
This is an easy question. Detroit, Michigan, Kevin, because I was raised there and played college basketball. The ticket request going home was definitely hard.
I bet.
Because now you're starting to ask teammates, you're starting to ask everybody for tickets, and I just never had enough.
And it was expensive to buy tickets.
Yes, indeed.
And everyone wanted one.
Everybody. My first game, Kevin, ever back in Detroit, 300 tickets.
Oh.
Glad I had good teammates, though. They helped me.
Clock is at 3. Here's Moon. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. And, well, Detroit shooting down around 24%. Obviously, they've struggled. Passes to Kabongo. Farmer, guarded by Porter. Here's Farmer. Nice D from Porter.
He got the space he needed, but just blew the layup. It hurts me to see points lost like that.
Banks passes to Ryan. Got a piece of it. They recover it. And that one's good by Porter. The Pistons trailing. Here's Primetime. He has 7 and some very quick points for him on that possession. Primetime's got his third basket of the night right there. Well, Chicago's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And Moon kicks to Banks. Here's Oden. Now here's Porter. Defense right on him. Moon can't hit. Here's Primetime. 9 points in the game so far. Fires top of the key. That one goes. Count it. Primetime's got 11.
Extended the lead. This has been a great period for him offensively.
Banks against McGee. Pass to Ryan. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Shot clock at 6. To the wing right side. And the pass to Justice. Here's Kabongo. To the right side. From the arc. Moon pulls it in. Chicago trailing here. They get a hand on it. Stolen by McGee. And the slam dunk by McGee.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
Now here's Porter. Right wing. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Clock at 6. McGee against Banks. From deep. And no good. We've got more in store for you right after this. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
I mean, a solid first quarter, especially looking at that plus turnover ratio.
Take care of the basketball, being disruptive on D. That combination has them out in front.
Moon with it. 8 points his last outing. Here are the 5 Detroit has to start the second quarter. Cool Hands is out there with Rogers. And there's Bottoms, and it's Primetime, and it's Farmer in at the center position. Here's Easy Breezy. 4-point game. 4 on the shot clock. And that one hits back iron. And so it's Detroit with the ball. And following this game, they'll challenge the Grizzlies on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. That's game 4 of 4 out on the road for them. McGee's shot is off. Here's Banks, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Banks has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Bulls. Pass to Rogers, and stolen by Oden. Fast break, here comes Chicago. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
All right, a moment to check out stats for the kid. How last month turned out for him. He's around 6 points per game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And I think he can play even better. I mean, sometimes it's tough to get into a rhythm with limited minutes, but he has got to find a way.
That's the thing. You don't get to pick your minutes. You have to make the most of what you get.
That one is off. The NBA always evolving, Steve. What do you like to see in a big man coming through the ranks these days with the kind of game we've got in front of us?
Well, I think right now a lot of these big guys, they have to be versatile, especially on the defensive end. We talk so much about the big shooting threes, but I think big guys right now got to be able to switch on pick and rolls, being able to guard the smaller guys, and I think also you still have to have that toughness. But I would love, Kevin, to see somebody come in and just dominate on the low block, and our entire game changes because this guy can win a championship being a low post player.
But you really think that's going to happen?
No, not at all. I like to see that. Taking it up strong in traffic.
Bulls trail by 3. Outside, Pierce. Tipped away. Pass to Ryan. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Moon for the 3. And the Bulls with another miss.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding.
You know, there's no shame in passing out in that situation. Leave your ego at the door.
Here's Kabongo over Pierce, and Detroit again with the bucket. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Moon passes to Ryan. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And a chance now to look at the schedule for Chicago. On Friday, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks coming into town. And then on Saturday, they'll host the Boston Celtics. Pistons leading by 5. Here's Primetime. He's got 11. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now here's Pierce. 20 points for him last game against Brooklyn.
And it was not a one-man show. That was the best part. He had just as good a game with his passing as he did with his scoring.
No coverage that time. Moon's got his second bucket tonight.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Got that one up quick. 16 points for Primetime.
He's really taken a hold of this first half and made it his. He is making all the right decisions out there.
Here's Moon following the 3 by Detroit. Left side, Pierce. He kicks it to Banks. He dishes it to Porter. It's good.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Pistons leading by 6. The pass to McGee. Here is Rogers. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. And there's the foul. It's on Clutch. That's his first foul. Davis is checked in for Kabongo. So it's Porter bringing it up now for Chicago. And Moon kicks to Porter. Pass to Moon. Here's Banks. Sinks the triple. Banks has got 5 points in the quarter. Here is Davis. He had 13 points in the win against Charlotte. Passes it to Justice. Shot clock at 6. Porter pulls it in. Porter's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Bulls moving the ball around. Pierce with a wide open look. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
He might not have the long range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones like that.
Now here's Davis. Still looking for his first bucket in this one.
My goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Craig, a high riser, no doubt about it. Jeremic, and he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
That was just a textbook pick that allowed him room, and he took advantage of it.
Here's Davis. The Bulls getting the bucket. Back to McGee. Over Pierce. McGee's shot is off. And here are the Bulls now. Big stretch here going 10-2. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
For Chicago, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
Pistons trail by 3.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Davis, the pass to Stewart. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Davis has got 3 assists now in this one.
A nice job of converting, but what really makes this play, the league pass.
Jeremic. Rebound by the Pistons.
I mean, the mid-range jump shot, a lot of guys have a hard time knocking it down.
Aldemir. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Aldemir's got his second bucket of the night. Guys back and forth this first half.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Rogers against Pierce. Kicks it to Porter. Rebound, Detroit. The Insanity's got 6 rebounds in the game. Pass to the captain. Now here is Davis. Here's the captain. No good on the 3. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. That's tipped and out of bounds. The Pistons will take it. And let's step back for a second to look at the top shooting point guards in basketball this season. You look at Davis.
As a point guard, you want to create the best possible shot every trip down the floor. And given the way these guys have shot the ball, you know, it's not a bad idea every now and then for them to go it alone.
You're right. I don't care what position it is. With percentages like that, get them more shots.
Jeremic. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. For Chicago, they have made 2 of their previous 3 free throws in today's game. The first one falls. And so he hits both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
To the wing on the left. Aldemir, the pass to Rogers. And instead he picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Go the other way.
Chicago has gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Jeremic, guarded by Rogers. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the foul against Detroit. The Bulls have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he knocks down the first one. B-Train's checked in for the Bulls. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
The pass to the captain. The 15-footer, and he connects with the jumper.
Crafty move. He recognizes the size disadvantage, and the mid-range is close enough.
Right. No reason to take it all the way to the rack. Instead, take what the defense allows.
Brady, and he drops it in from the low post.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
Here's the captain. A good portion of the scoring has come from him. He averages more than 18 points a game. Pass to Aldemir. Over Pierce. Aldemir, no good.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
The Bulls have put up good numbers at the charity stripe, converting 6 of 7. That's good from Pierce. And he makes both free throws.
And didn't have a single free throw in that first quarter, but he started to play with a little bit more of an edge to his game here in the second.
Now here's Davis. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. That's tipped.
And tonight he just hasn't been efficient offensively. That's a big reason why they're behind.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Bulls have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
And the first one drops. So he gets them both. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And as of late, they have not looked good at all. Actually, they've been dominated.
And the worst part, they're starting to get down on themselves. Really need that one big play to spark some life back into them.
Here to look at the numbers for Mr. Incredible. He's averaging 11 points a game, 3 assists and 4 rebounds. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
You need guys who understand their roles, carry them out without complaint. Everything he does is for the team.
Now here's Davis. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Pass to Rogers. That's tipped.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Jeremic. He goes up again. Rogers pulls it in. Pistons trail by 7. Here's Aldemir. Here's Stewart. He kicks to Aldemir. Over Oden. Misses off the right iron. The Bulls leading by 7. Down low, Jeremic. All alone. The putback.
And you just get the sense the whole period he's been a bit out of sync.
Yep, trying to shoot himself back into this. Regain some confidence first.
Right side Davis to end the cold streak. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Yeah, he's at 81% from the line, and when we've had a chance to see him, he's had great form and continues to look confident.
2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. He hits both from the stripe. 1:57 left to play here in the half. Samardziski is guarded by Davis. Here's Grady. Rogers pulls it in. Rogers has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game.
You know, on a pretty good night for these guys overall, his shooting has been the biggest weakness.
Here's Aldemir. Releases from the wing and drills it. Aldemir's got his 3rd bucket of the night. The Bulls leading by 3. Samardziski is guarded by Davis. Outside, Pierce. To the middle. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And that one's good. Aldemir's got 6 here in this quarter.
You know, he had a hot start to this game. He's only gotten hotter. We'll see if the defense makes an adjustment.
Here's Oden. It's deflected. 56 seconds left to play here in the second quarter.
An uncontested look for mid-range. He typically drains that one.
Now that we have a second, take a look at the teams that have scored the most points off turnovers over the last 10 games. Number 1, the Bulls.
I mean, they've gotten a little more aggressive defensively. You can become a more confident team on that end, and so much of it, I think, has to do with forcing turnovers and creating offense.
Here's the captain. Lets it go from deep. It's through for a second basket. He's now 2 for 6. This tug-of-war game continues.
And, guys, that's lucky number 7 already in this game.
There's 37 seconds left here in the second. Here's Pierce. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him.
2-for-1 territory, but they got to work quick.
This is where the play calling comes in. Let's see what they got.
Over to the wing. Here's Oldemir. Another 3 for Detroit.
You see he's feeling it now. Shot looks much more in sync this quarter.
Bulls trail by 5. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Pistons ahead as they end the second quarter on a 14-6 run. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Steve Kerr and Coach, what is the offensive approach going to be in the second half?
Well, we just have to do what we do, move the ball and wear them down with our ball movement, our cutting, and our spacing, and set better screens, all the usual stuff.
Yeah, it always seems to work out for you in the long run. Thanks, Steve. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. Looking at the Pistons, Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, there was one pleasant surprise, and that was the bench. They gave them a big lift. Those guys came into the game, they did all the dirty work, and they scored baskets.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, I love that they were forceful at their offensive end, and they got the shots they wanted. They played aggressively and got to the line. A strong attacking mindset. I like it. We'll see if they bring the same attitude in the second half, though.
And now with the second half about to get underway, let's send you back courtside. See everybody with Kevin Harlan.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Really an incredible game from primetime.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him. A scoring machine here in that first half.
Defensively coming in, you know he's going to be tough to stop, but I'm still waiting to see a plan to even contain him.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Down low.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down. And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play, sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. And for the Pistons, we've got Rogers, the captain, out there with Davis. Then there's Insanity, and it's Aldemir in at the 3 slot. Bulls trail by 3. Outside, Pierce. To the middle. Detroit with the rebound. The Insanity's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Now Davis. Pass to Stewart. Offline from the top of the key.
And this is one of those times where the coach has got to preach, be unselfish.
And we don't know that he hasn't. Maybe it's been falling on deaf ears. Guys taking ill-advised jump shots.
The shot by Pierce will not go.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
Count it.
And that's how you want to come out of the locker room. He is fired up.
Yes, in the first minute or so, you knock down a couple of shots, you are in rhythm.
Samardziski, who's guarded by Davis. Outside, Pierce. 5 on the clock. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for Detroit. On Wednesday, they'll go up against the Grizzlies in Memphis. And then on Saturday.
And looking at that Lakers matchup, it's never easy going up against the top team in the West. But if they're able to come away with the win, it's going to be a huge confidence booster.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops.
That's it.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Pistons leading by 4. Elbow shot. And Detroit again with the bucket.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
And a moment here to check out the numbers for the captain. 6th in three-point field goal percentage, and he's in the top 20 in assists per game. His talent for creating easy buckets for his teammates, such an asset.
And back to his efficiency from 3, as you said, he's top 10 in the league. Defenses are now trying to deny him the basketball, but really to no avail. Now here's Davis. He has 6. Stewart, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Here's Oden, and it's Oden finishing it off.
And that's how you answer. I'd say he just one-upped him. Pretty good one there.
These two guys really, really like going at each other, don't they? Here's the captain. He's got 5. They get it again. Plays it up and banks it in. Rodgers has got the lead up to 8 now for Detroit.
What I'm trying to figure out, why was their defense so much more suffocating in the first half? This does not look like the same team at all.
Now here's Pierce. He's got 11. Shot by Oden is no good. Stewart passes to Davis. The Pistons working the ball around now. He gives them a double-digit lead. The captain's got 8 points.
Yeah, you see the killer instinct. He's going for the death blow.
True story. They got a monster lead that's taking a life of its own.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
The wheels have come off a little bit leading up to this timeout. He is taking some low percentage shots, and it's killing the flow of their offense. More motion, more ball movement, that should lead to better looks for him and for their entire team.
changing it up here.
Come on, Chicago.
Bulls trail by 11. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. He doesn't hit that one. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Davis, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Well, these are players that have a job to do, and they've been doing it very well. Here's a look at the top passing point guards in the NBA over the course of the past 10 games. Well, you look at Davis, one of the best passers in the NBA, always looking to get his teammates involved.
And these are the best passers in the NBA. No question about it. Every one of them is willing and able to be the floor general out there and make sure the offense is running at full speed.
These guys have great vision, understand how to create opportunities for their teammates.